Alright guys, on this one, electoral reform. And also don't talk about this electoral reform, the satanic INEC, what he do to us in 2023. We don't want this same thing to happen again in 2027. But the way it looks like, you know, is a narrow escape. Because now these same people still in power. As you see, say we can talk yesterday, say, guarantee, certain, say Tinubu will win 2027. Say nothing will ever stop her. So with this kind of character, electoral reform, do you think this can come to realism in any way? It's doubtful. But this video I want to watch, so please pay attention to it. It's a very, very important video that carries a lot of weight, a lot of details, a lot of information will be spilled out from this particular video from ITV. Let's watch this, guys.
Also watch closely the policies of Bola Ahmed Tinubu. I have looked at what that renewed hope agenda truly means, and I've come to see that renewed hope agenda had only 3 points agenda. There are only 3 things in that renewed hope agenda. The first one is to weaponize poverty.
Let's look at in the direction of making things right in terms of electoral reforms, like what you said earlier, you know, concerning making sure that we get it right and the need for electoral reforms. We just have 2027 inching closely. Do you see political will in the government? Do you see political will in the National Assembly in making sure that the drive for electoral reforms that will capture all of these lapses you're talking about, do you see it coming up before 2027?
For me, before 2027, I've already given hope. I've seen the Randy Peters, the popular Randy Peters, moving around, went to the National Assembly, submitted documents, trying to mobilize Nigerians and the Nigerian legislature to see the need for an electoral reform for 2027. But I've also watched closely the policies of Bola Ahmed Tinubu. I have looked at what that renewed hope agenda truly means, and I've come to see that renewed hope agenda had only 3 points agenda. There are only 3 things in that renewed hope agenda. The first one is to weaponize poverty. That is to say, get money out of the poor, get money out of the pockets of the Nigerian people and give it to the Nigerian political class, give it to the elites, so that the politicians will be richer and the people will be poorer. Expand the dichotomy to say let the people be poorer and let the elite class be richer. That was what he did when he removed fuel subsidy, taking money that was given to the poor to support their transportation and giving it back to the federal post. Remove education, and after he had removed all the subsidy from tariff of telecommunication, tariff from education, tariff from electricity, he now went to increase taxation. He now went to rewrite the rules to ensure that money is being dragged out of the private sector and given to government. That's every time it comes up, they say that our governors now have more money. The governors now have more money. The governors have more money. Because that is the plan, to give the governors more money so that they can continue to remain loyal and grateful to the president.
Back to the subject.
Back to the subject. When that is being done, they weaponize policy. The second agenda for the renewed hope is to put all the resources. No, I'm trying to tell you why they can't get electoral mandate, why they can't give Nigeria the election desire. Okay. If it was Buhari managed, you saw Buhari's body language. He ensured that INEC could, when election comes, INEC could declare the winner. INEC could declare the winner. When it goes to the court, you tell the court declare the winner. The court to declare the winner. But we have not seen any of that thing under the President Buhari, under President Tinubu. When you go to the next agenda, they want to Tinubu wants to ensure that Lagos becomes the financial headquarters of Nigeria. All the projects he has been doing. I'll give you facts. The first one he did, the coastal road, how much? 13 trillion is in Lagos. The renovation of the rehabilitation of the 10 million bridge, guess how much? 3.6 trillion is in Lagos. The renovation of Murtala Mohammed Airport, guess how much? 712 billion is in Lagos. The renovation, they said, of this Lekki Ekpe Expressway, how much? 158 billion. They say the Lagos light rail, guess how much? 3.2 trillion. All the money being allocated to Lagos is more than half of the money brought to South Nigeria. So the man wants to ensure that Lagos is a political, because he has conquered Lagos politically. Anybody who wants to become governor of Lagos State will majorly be a product of Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And that same attempt is what he wants to enthrone into Nigerian democracy, so that when he finishes his election and he goes back to body loan, even if you want to be a governor in Kano, Kaduna, Zamfara, he will have to come cap in hand to beg, say, Baba, I want to be governor, what can you do for me? A man with such political disposition can never create room for electoral reforms that will bring forth free, fair, credible elections, that will bring forth a leader that the people truly want. But I don't see Bola Ahmed Tinubu, even if he comes for the next year. The first time he did was just to see how he can. The next time of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, that's why I say it's imperative to remove him. That removing Bola Ahmed Tinubu will serve as a better lesson for anybody who is going there, irrespective of who the person is. Because I've never seen anybody. See, when Bola Ahmed Tinubu returns back, in 2027, nobody will think of anything. God will do, we seize the judiciary as he has done now. God will see them issuing judgment. There is no reflection of justice. We've seen judgment that is focused on technicalities and trivialities rather than the legality of the
but you seem to undermine the powers of the National Assembly.
Oh, that one is even worse. When you go to the National Assembly, under being led by Godswill Akpabio, the man is dangerously complacent. Tinubu had borrowed more in these 4 years, in these 3 years, than Buhari did in 8 years. There is nothing, there's no policy. At least, even as much as we appreciate collaboration between the legislative and the executive arm of government, we also know that there are times where the government needs to be reprimanded. There are times where the House of Assembly will say, no, President, we can't take this. Do it, that is what the yearnings of the people is. There has not been one occasion where the National Assembly, under the leadership of Godswill Akpabio, had opposed any of the policy direction of this President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Whatever Tinubu coughs, whatever it is, even before he thinks it, they think it for him. And they tell him, Baba, this is where your interest will lie, let us do it for you. The House of Assembly, National Assembly, as I currently consider today, serves the executive arm of government. But which is not supposed
point
to
of correction, the President has been there for 2 years, not 3 years.
2 years, counting more now. He has passed 2 years already. He's now entering the 3rd year. So whether he like it or not, there's nothing that is happening. We've also done, it was Bola Ahmed Tinubu also introduced this issue of election after election. He just came into office, he had never settled down, he had not done up to a year, and was talking seriously about 2027 election. So for the past this whole year now, the whole of next year, they will all be geared towards rerun for 2027. And all of these things tries to take away attention from governors. We in Edo State, we are already suffering from this renewed hope. We are suffering renewed hope because aside the weaponization of poverty, we have seen that they've given us a government that cannot stand. What we had in those days was a free and credible election, but was truncated and thwarted. Where people went to vote and they voted unanimously and overwhelmingly for Asuelimo Ighodalo in the cover of darkness.
Okay,
under the hand of federal mint. We saw actual manipulation of results. We had Monduk Mebulu, who today has enthroned clueless governors at OSEC. There's no one area I can mention.
Let's look at the way forward, because you are a politician, and if you are saying that, if you're saying all of this, you are indirectly saying that there's no hope, for electoral reforms in 2027. Then why being in the business of politicking?
No,
what do you see? Yeah. What do you see that can turn things around in spite of the challenges?
I've often said that no matter how good electoral reform may look, these people, Bola Ahmed Tinubu and the Tinubu cannot. The political, they deliberately want to make sure we don't have it so that they can reposition themselves in power. But I've always said that there are conditions that will necessitate ringing. People don't ring from nowhere. If the basic requirements for rigging are not there, you cannot rig. That is why Bola Ahmed Tinubu could not ring Lagos State in the last general election. He wanted Lagos so desperately, but he could not ring Lagos because the necessary requirements were not available. PDP got about 100,000 votes. Peter Obi, in the authentic result, got about close to a million votes. While Tinubu got 100,000 votes. But what he did now, he had to manipulate and increase his own to 400,000.
Well, we don't have that record.
I know you don't have that record, but that is what was.
But what you are saying, are you saying that your party is already even being defeated?
No, that is why.
Are you saying that you'll be skewed out?
No. What happens is this: if the political actors are able to regroup with support of the Nigerian people, Tinubu will have a run for, despite the illegality that they are proposing to enthrone. What am I saying is this: if the opposition, be it ADC, be it PDP, because he has totally emasculated all our political parties, are able to put one opposition candidate. The idea of bringing an Atiku and bringing an Obi on 2 different platforms, or bringing Jonathan, bring anything that divides the opposition votes, repositions Tinubu for victory. Because once the votes are, the margin of victory is wide and overwhelming, it is practically impossible for you to ring, because you can only ring when the margin is close and where you have political stakeholders who are leaders and masters. In 2020 election, there was no way APC would have won Rivers State if Wike had not given them the state for victory. Wike was the political leader of ground who used oppression, suppression, intimidation of both voters, electoral officers, and observers to secure and smuggle the votes of Rivers State people for Tinubu, of which he was now rewarded and made a minister of the FCT. So if that's why Tinubu is very particular about buying governors, because he knows that no matter what, once he gives the governor the billions he needs and gives them instruction, gives them the federal might, the infrastructure of state security, be it DSS or police or soldier, they can bully anybody to submission and steal the votes irrespective of what the people had previously said. So that's why you see that a shopping template for Southern governors, they are all moving to APC, they are selling their birthright and their collective patrimony.
Thank you. The topic is about electoral reforms, beavers, and of course IRF and trust in INEC.
What do I know? This is NAIJA Watch Media. Join us every day, 7 p.m. Nigerian time. Let's continue to talk about the things that's affecting you and I. Take care, guys, and bye for now.